Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. We are from Group 4. First of all, let me introduce our group members. Rahayu, Nimas, Salsabila, Hadi, and Salsabila Muli Fardian. We are proudly present the materials for our study. It is an analytical exposition, example for our understandings. So, to shorten time, let me start the discussions. First, let's take a look to the first text. The first material Rahayu. For Rahayu, time is yours.
Thank you for moderator. I would like to explain about generic structure of analytical exposition text. The first one is thesis. Thesis contains writer's opinion about something. It also introduces topics and indicates the writer's position. For example, the first paragraph is a thesis in the text importance of internet technology. So, because the first paragraph contains writer's opinion about importance of internet technology. The second is arguments. Arguments is contains the arguments to support the writer's positions. Each arguments must be supported by evidence and explanation. Usually in analytical exposition, there are more than two arguments. For example, the second paragraph until the eighth paragraph is arguments. And the third structure is reiteration. Reiterations after the thesis and argument sections has been presented. This section is always located at the end of the text and becomes the closing paragraph of analytical exposition. And the last paragraph is reiteration. Thank you. Back to moderator.
Thank you. The next will be presented by Salsabila. To Salsabila, time is yours.
Thank you to moderator. I would like to continue explanation Rahayu before. It is the lecture. Next, Hadi. The language feature using simple present tense. We know that usually simple present tense marked with to be is. Example, the internet is a great platform for students to learn throughout their lifetime. Second, using relational process. For example, teachers, student. Using internal conjunction. Internal conjunction tend to fulfill textual meta function, facilitating the of and connecting logical step. Example, lastly, and etc. Using causal conjunction. Causal conjunction are a type of connective word that are used to connect text by describing a cause and effect relationship. Example, for using contrastive conjunction. Contrastive conjunction linked to that to be however. And the last is using on generic human, non-human. For instance, you
Material by Hadi Saputra Srg. Hadi first.
Okay, thank you to moderator. I would like to continue the presentation of the structure of analytical expositions. First one is structure about analytical exposition is thesis statement. Thesis statement is the main topic of discourse in an expose. The thesis when so has check from the text we can see the thesis statement is corruption is the most common issue around the world. The second generic structure is about arguments. Arguments is the heart of an analytical exposition. The absence of arguments, analytical will just talk nothing since thesis must be evaluated. So in this text, we can see the writer or author, the first, which or option, erect direction, and commission, and so on. Next, next, please. Next down. Nah, uh, generic structure is about reiteration. Reiteration is reiteration which is started in another word. The purpose is to strengthen the thesis. For the text, we can see the reiteration it starts from the awareness of it is sound government to reduce corruption. So I think that's all for me. Thanks for your attention. Back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you to Hadi for the material. So I will present the last material. Is it about the language features based on the second text? Next. The first presents example, corruption is the most common issue around the world. The word. Next, using words that express the author's thoughts or feelings. For example, harmful. And the third is using internal conjunctions. Example, first, second, lastly. And the last is using contrastive words. Uh, I think this is the last of our materials. This is the last part of our presentation. I would like to apologize if there is a mistakes. Thank you for your attention. May all we share be beneficial for all. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you and goodbye.